Yes, hot topic for content creators. This is where I pitch a hot topic to you guys. You guys turn around and create your own content on said topic as we kind of continue to embroider these topics and we continue these conversations together. All right. I really want this to be like an open forum, a back and forth, not just me talking at you guys about these topics, but you guys actually weighing in on it with your own opinions, your own outlook. And tonight's topic of discussion is merit versus market. Yes, that's the prompt. So tonight, what I've done is I've pulled a meme. Actually, this is not something that I typically do because I really don't care about memes for the most part. I think memes are kind of retarded. They're kind of just prepackaged thoughts. So this is something that you may have seen people from, indie artists, authors, probably most likely sharing, whether it be on Twitter or in Facebook groups or something like that. So we got this meme right here. Take a look at this. So for this one is how to support authors without spending any money. And usually this is coming from somebody from the indie scene. It says, review the book on Amazon. Well, first, right out the gates, if you're going to review a book, you're going to have to probably read that book. So you're probably going to have to spend some money somewhere if you're going to review a book, because that implies that you're going to have to read the book. But anyways, review the book on Amazon, review the book anywhere. Follow them on social media. So yeah, technically that is a free way to kind of support authors, is to follow them on social media. Post about the book online. Tell a friend or 20 about the book. Yeah, do some marketing, do the heavy lifting for the author. Say hi. Well, that's, I don't know how supportive that is. I mean, that depends on the individual. Not everyone wants to engage in small talk with the fans. But yeah, I mean, that might make an author's day. If you say, hi, listen, I read your book, I enjoyed it, whatever, you send them a little message. Authors might like some fan mail as far as that goes. Ask your local library to add the book to the collection. And that I would just push back and say, maybe not every author wants their book in the public library. But yeah, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with review the book on Amazon. If the book is in the library, then yeah, you can read the book for free in that case. And then in which case you could take the time and leave a review. I really don't find this very tactful for authors to be sharing this type of stuff around, because for one, it kind of implies that people are stupid. You know what I mean? It's twofold. One, it kind of implies that people are stupid. People don't already know this stuff already, like as if they don't know their way around social media. They don't know how to do a retweet. They don't know how to share posts. For instance, one thing would be if you see an author sharing something like this and you say, okay, all right, I see the author knew how to share this meme. So let's go to their profile now and see how many other people's books that they're retweeting or they're sharing on their own social feed. You're kind of setting yourself up to kind of put your own foot in your mouth if you're not that type of person. In other words, you're just a me type of author. So there's that. That's why I'm not, it's one of those things is if you're going to share something like this, make sure that you are that guy. You are that guy. You're the guy that's doing all that stuff yourself. You're someone who reads indie books. You're someone who reviews indie books. You're somebody that follows other authors online. You're the one that tells your friends, tells your family, and tells other people about the indie books that you read. And with indie books, I'll say right now, for me, my method is Kindle. That's why I picked up a Kindle Fire, is because I knew that once I started getting involved in this indie stuff, that there was just going to be, my TBR list was just going to friggin' explode. So that's why I went digital. That was the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back and pushed me to kind of get into the digital space as far as ebooks went. Because before, I mostly would just collect physical books. I do have my own personal library here at home, but mostly that's, you know, me collecting the classics and you know, that type of stuff. I do have some physical copies of indie books that I've collected here and there. But yeah, so right out the gates, I say it's kind of rubbing people. I feel like you're going to kind of rub potential readers the wrong way, or, you know, potential customers the wrong way if this is the kind of stuff that you're reading, because you're insinuating that people are stupid and they don't know their way around social media, because people already know this because they do it every day when they share mainstream media, right? People have no problem sharing mainstream media, talking about mainstream media and idolizing mainstream artists. But the question is, why? Why are people doing that? Or why is it so easy for people to do it with mainstream stuff? And it seems so difficult for the average person to share indie stuff, you know? And I have my own kind of speculate on this a little bit. And that's, you know, what I kind of want to get into with this subject. Um, you know, why is it so hard for some individuals to treat indie artists with the same level of enthusiasm that they may have for a mainstream artist? Not only is it kind of a loaded question, you know, because there's a lot of different directions that we could kind of take this, but it also may vary depending on, you know, who is, you know, who it is, who's looking into this work, you know, who wrote the novel. I feel like that might play an integral role to it. I think that it's so easy for people to share mainstream artist work or mainstream works is because there's already kind of a buzz around it. I feel like there's a sense of, almost like a sense of community there. There's a sense of there's already a sense of belonging there. People don't feel, because it might feel uncomfortable for some people to talk about obscure work that maybe nobody else has ever heard of before. I think that might be a part of it as well. Because with mainstream work, it's like there's already a built-in audience, right? There's already other people. I think that's the key thing. There's other people for people for individuals to talk to about said work. In other words, and then figure out how they relate with one another on said work. That's part of the culture. That's pop culture. Okay. But the indie scene is different. The indie scene is a culture in it and of itself, but it's different though. It's a different kind of people. It's not people who are into idolizing artists. It's really just about, it's more, the indie scene is more of a, what I would say, a peer-to-peer kind of community. The vast majority of people that you're going to interact with in the indie scene are going to be people who are artists themselves, who are authors themselves. You're going to find out the vast majority of the time. You know, I'd like to change that over time. I'd like to see that kind of change and kind of alleviate that stigma and make it acceptable perfectly, or make it more comfortable, I should say, would be the key word. Make it more comfortable for the average individual to not only become a customer in the indie market, but feel comfortable to, you know, talk about indie works, you know, even if it's in kind of a general sense. Like, it doesn't necessarily have a hardcore fan base of people that are going to come out of the woodwork and talk to them and be able to relate, but at least do it on a level of like, hey guys, I discovered this book in the indie market, thought it was really cool. It's sci-fi. And for you, I know some of my fellow readers out there who really like sci-fi. If you're a fan of this author that you know a lot about, you might You might want to check this one out, type of deal. That type of stuff. Kind of normalize, if you will, that kind of interaction.